Welcome to the Simonized Floor Care Troubleshooting video. In this section, we will look at how to solve some of the most common problems in any floor care program. We will look at the probable causes and some solutions. We will look at the most common problems in the following areas: stripping the floors, applying finish, burnishing or interim maintenance, and general appearance problems. We will start with stripping. One problem you may encounter is that the floor finish is clogging the stripping pads and the finish is not coming up. Too much stripper and dilution will make the stripping solution too thick to work with. When there is not enough water or the stripper is mixed too strong, the stripper will not be as effective. This will cause floor pads to clog and the stripping solution will become more difficult to remove and rinse properly. The solution? Make sure the stripper is diluted according to the directions on the label. It is also important to apply the stripper liberally. An inadequate amount of solution will also cause this problem. Make sure you apply the stripping solution liberally. Do not apply in a thin layer. Another problem may be that the floor is sticky after rinsing, has excessive residue or shiny patches. When the stripper is not properly diluted or is allowed to partially dry before scrubbing, the floor will not be able to be rinsed properly. It will feel tacky, sticky, or sections of the floor may be left unstripped. The solution would be to wet scrub the floor with clean water and rinse to remove excessive residue. Make sure the stripper is diluted properly. You may need to re-strip shiny spots or unstripped areas. When there are large areas of finish that have not been stripped, you will need to strip this area again. Another problem is that the stripper is drying too fast, resulting in dry back or dry patches. Mixing the stripper with hot water may cause the stripping solution to evaporate too quickly. Not applying enough stripper will also cause dry back. To solve this problem, make sure the stripper is mixed with cool water and applied liberally. If high spots in the floor dry quickly or you see dry spots, apply more stripper to those areas. A common problem when applying floor finish is that the finish is streaky after drying. There are several reasons for finish to appear streaky when dried. When the finish is applied in coats that are too heavy, they will not dry completely. The coalescences and solvents need to flash off and dry to form a stable film before subsequent coats are applied. In this case, use thinner coats and allow adequate drying and make sure the finish is dry to the touch before applying the next coat. Excessive coats of finish or too much finish applied at one time will also cause streaking. Too many coats with insufficient dry time will not provide enough time for the coalescences in the finish to flash off and form a stable film. This will result in streaking and hazing of the finish. When you see this happening, stop applying finish. Sometimes burnishing the next day will correct the streaking. To avoid this problem, use thinner coats, apply no more than 5 coats in one day, and make sure the finish is dry to the touch before applying another coat. You may see that the finish is separating or fish-eyeing when being applied or when drying. This means that the finish or the floor has become contaminated. Anything with silicone, a solvent, or even excessive stripper or detergent residue left on a bare floor may cause the finish not to adhere correctly. This is also true if there are contaminants on either the finish mop or the mopping equipment. When this happens, stop applying finish. Applying more finish over these areas will not solve the problem or cover the affected area. The floor will need to be stripped and rinsed to remove the substance that caused the problem before applying new finish. Keep floor finish covered when not in use. Preventing this issue starts with making sure the finish mop is clean and using a trash can liner in the mop bucket. Do not dust mop the floor after the floor has been stripped. Dust mop treatments or substance left on the dust mop can cause contamination. Do not use furniture polish or Armor All type products near the area where finish is being applied. This is a common cause of this problem. Another problem you may encounter is that the finish is blotchy or sticky when dry. When the finish is not allowed to dry thoroughly between coats, or if the finish is applied too heavy, it will cause the finish not to dry completely and appear blotchy or hazy. When this happens, stop applying finish. The following day, dry burnish with a new pad. Use thinner coats to promote faster drying times and an even appearance. A few more thin coats will dry faster with a consistent gloss. Using fewer coats that are too heavy is not a shortcut to a high gloss look. One other problem you may see is that the finish is drying with waves or ripples when using a fan. The use of a floor fan is a great help when drying floor finishes. There are two things you will need to remember to avoid problems. Always allow the finish to dry a minimum of 10 minutes before you turn the fan on. This will allow the finish to level and begin to form a film before a fan is introduced. Place the fan several feet from the finish to be dried, so as not to push or move the finish. This will create a wavy effect or an actual dry spot. Aim the fan in an upward position and not directly on the finish. These two procedures will ensure proper drying and eliminate waves, rippling, and dry spots. You may find that your floors look scratched or dull after burnishing. Using the wrong pad or a soiled pad will cause the floor to look dull after burnishing or buffing. Try a less aggressive pad. Stop using a white pad if you are using a high-speed machine. White pads on a high-speed machine will clog quickly with dirt and scratch the floor. Floor pads are one of the most subjective variables in maintaining finish. Finding the best pad or pads for your finish is often a matter of trying different pads. You may want to use one pad to remove heavy scratches and another for maintaining your floors in good condition. Another problem is that the finish is not popping or does not respond when burnishing. Finishes will begin to show signs of wear or dry out after continued daily maintenance and dry burnishing. Use a restorer to rejuvenate the finish with new polymers. This will add an extra level of gloss to your finish and also extend scrub and stripping cycles. You may notice that your floors are dulling from daily cleaning. When the cleaning solution is not neutral, diluted improperly, or mixed with hot water, the finish may become dull looking. Make sure the cleaner is neutral with a pH of 7. Dilute the product correctly with cool water. A dilution control system will ensure proper dilution, and we recommend them when possible. Another common problem is that the floors are sticky. This can happen for several reasons. Using a disinfectant cleaner will often cause this problem, especially during the humid summer months. Try dry burnishing the floor. This procedure will often remove any residue or dirt that is sticking to the floor. Occasional use of a standard non-disinfectant neutral cleaner such as AP7 will help remove residue. Make sure the water temperature is cool and the cleaner is properly diluted. Hot water or cleaners that are not neutral can also cause this problem. When yellowing and browning occurs, it can be caused by the following: insufficient cleaning before burnishing and/or recoating. Make sure the floor is cleaned properly before applying floor finish or doing any burnishing. Second, dirty mop and/or dirty water used to clean the floor. Make sure the mops are clean and change the mop water when needed. Third, cleaner residue left on the floor before applying finish. Be sure to use a clean finish mop. Fourth, heavy coats of finish. This can sometimes cause the finish to discolor. Use thinner coats to ensure proper film clarity. And fifth, recoating too often. Recoating too often can cause a buildup in low traffic areas or on edges and cause discoloring of the finish. To avoid this problem, recoat only when it is truly called for. When your floor finish appears to be powdering, it may be caused by the following: freshly stripped old or worn floors that are poorly sealed. You must use a sealer when recoating floors that are in poor condition, such as excessive wear or pitting. A sealer will ensure proper adhesion of floor finish. Second, extremely cold air will not allow the finish to dry correctly. When applying finish, it is important that the air temperature be above 50 degrees. This will ensure the finish will adhere to the tiles and dry correctly. Third, coats of finish are too thin. Make sure to apply enough finish in each coat. Fourth, failure to remove manufacturer's coatings on new floors. All new floor tiles come with a protective coating on them. This is designed to ensure they are not damaged during shipping and when the floor is being installed. They may appear to be in good condition and ready for floor finish when they are put down, but the coating will need to be removed. The new floor tiles must be wet scrubbed before finish is applied. The finish will not adhere to the tiles without at least wet scrubbing them. Make sure the floor is either stripped or wet scrubbed with an all-purpose cleaner before applying the finish. Fifth, burnishing or buffing pad is too aggressive. This will cause excessive powdering. Move to a less aggressive pad if there are no deep scratches. Using a mop-on restorer when burnishing will help keep powdering to a minimum. If you keep an eye out for these typical problem areas, you should be well prepared to keep your floors in a professional and presentable condition. Thank you for joining us for the troubleshooting portion of the Simonized Floor Care Training video.